When looking throughout history, you'll find in every generation villainous characters who obtain so much power that they begin to compare themselves to God, uncommitted to righteousness, while submissive to any and everything evil, not recognizing man or God's law because in their mind, they are God. When listening to these stories, one could think that you are not talking about a club promoter turned billionaire mogul, but rather the Persian god himself, Xerxes I, who built one of the greatest empires in world history, destroying not only uncooperating enemies, but allies also to establish and protect power. As this world has evolved, so has these demons, overtaking souls willing to commit to their will in exchange for unbelievable power. Do me a favor before we go too far into this video, apply pressure to that subscribe button.
Everyone gets nervous the first time they meet show business, except P. Diddy.
What's up, Playboy?
What is the formula for creating such a hazardous monster, willing to go to the extreme for more power? It usually starts with an unfulfilled void. In the movie 300, Uprising of an Empire, you see Xerxes witness his father killed in combat, which causes him to sacrifice himself in an environment of pure and unwavering evilness to become a god. This process would also entail the oblivion of all his trusted counsel. Early in Sean Combs' career, he would display the same, cut every cord set from business and friendship for self-preservation.
Now this is what the music industry is all about.
He too lost his father at 3 years old.
My father, he was killed when I was 3 years old. I don't have a lot of memories of my father.
While the details are sketchy, legend has it, it was while he was waiting in a car. He was a notable soldier for the infamous Frank Lucas gang who peddled heroin throughout the streets of Harlem.
My father was a hustler.
It's not gangster. That's your problem, man. You always trying to be gangster.
And everybody went, oh, Puffy wouldn't do that, Puffy wouldn't do that. Well, gay guys are tough too.
I am kind.
Even if we don't know our parents, we still have their DNA in us.
They both would use this pain, birth, from a void unfulfilled to wreak havoc and pain on almost all who came across their path, friend or foe.
Nothing stopped the march of my empire.
For Sean Combs, on his rise to the top, one after another of his comrades would end up either dead or in prison.
The mourning the death of the rapper known as Notorious B.I.G.
This is someone who destroyed my life.
If they did not lose their life, the one that they were left with would never be the same.
I was defending him, and he turned around and called witnesses to testify against me, and he contributed. He pretty much sent me to prison. So that is the context by which you must always describe that relationship. This is someone who destroyed my life.
The relentless, cunning maneuvers would place him as one of the richest figures in one of the most evilest empires of the world, from music catalogs to liquor, favor with politicians, and even his own clothing brand.
We break down the barriers a little bit, and Sean John, we have our own sense of swagger.
I want to do that for him.
Sean Combs would use his newfound power to threaten enemies and destroy alliances.
That was about like him and Diddy were beefing, right? There were like calls, you know, going around LA, and it was like, you know, Drake here, Drake there, who will run up on him. I'm not saying it, you know, it didn't come from Diddy directly, but LA get tricked.
He always played artists against each other. He did it to Big, he did it to Craig Mack. He did the stuff to Ja Rule, you know what I'm saying? So how the ups on Ja Rule, so he could go after Jay-Z.
But not only would violence become a force for King Xerxes and King Combs, but access to irregular amounts of currency and gold.
Let me guess.
You must be Xerxes.
Placing them both in position to become so powerful, they would declare themselves not human or even gods.
I'm not even a human being. I need you to understand this. I've done a lot of growing and changing, evolving. I'm a frequency. I am now a total frequency.
Embrace me as your king and as your god.
As gods, they will break all the rules of sexual mortality.
Right, gotta keep them there. Right. You need locks on the doors. It's a little kinky, but yeah.
Let us reason together.
Pause.
They will require anyone that would kneel to them to do the same.
When I threw him into the piano, Puff and Ja Rule runs out the room. Puff got his towel, Ja grabbing his towel, but they butt the naked.
Every single celebrity in the culture has been to Diddy's house.
And the story went on and said that a lawyer walked in the office. When she walked in the office, she walked right out, and she said it was a dude, and she said it was Christopher Wim.
Huh?
Why won't you party with me for your birthday, man?
We partied for my birthday before. You came to my party.
No, but me and you ain't never really partied.
Yours is a fascinating tribe.
Doing it, man. You deserve it, Daddy. You putting in that work. Proud of you. I love you. Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Fucking me good and everything I was drove me crazy. I pulled up to her crib, I was in that 19 Mercedes.
The infamous King Xerxes would offer mercy to civilizations he looked to conquer.
For I am kind.
Their women would go unharmed. They will be rewarded with riches, sexual desires, and anything else they dreamed of.
Everything you could ever desire. Every happiness you can imagine. Every pleasure I will grant you. For I am kind.
All they had to do was kneel.
I require only that you kneel.
Pause.
And one more thing. I want to do your fob.
You ever been mindfucked before?
God.
Those who refused to kneel would eventually fall victim to the sword, with a special bounty placed on their heads.
Puffy is outright bragging about putting $1 million on people's heads.
One of the characteristics shared by both was a brutal habit of using violence to send a message.
That is whatever I want, I'm going to get! Whatever I want, I have to get!
There will be no glory in your sacrifice. I will erase even the memory of Sparta from the histories.
Whether it's to the Spartans or toward King Cudi.
Combs set fire to fellow recording artist Kid Cudi's car when he seemed to show interest in Ventura.
Sean Combs was even known to incite conflict if he was in the presence of Grey Goose instead of Ciroc, the liquor company he held equity in. This brutalness was not secluded only towards men, but women as well.
I am the one who triumphed over Leonidas. I am the one who laid waste to the showpiece of Athens. I am your king.
Set fire to the only thing of value in this country.
This brutalness will be at times overbearing for them both, creating an atmosphere of solidarity among their enemies to bring forth their demise. Xerxes, it would happen with Greece, where his miscalculations would cause him to flee to Asia. For P. Diddy, it will begin with his missteps with sinker Cassie. His miscalculations might land him in prison or even the grave.
Prosecutors filed documents in federal court that lay out the accusations against Combs and his associates. Although, to be clear, Combs is the only one named in this filing for now. He faces 3 charges: racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, and transportation to engage in prostitution.
And now we're getting reports that Diddy isn't eating while in jail, and it could be because he thinks someone's trying to poison his food.
Whatever the case, they are both one and the same, examples of how even human gods can bleed.
He used his business and employees of that business and other close associates to get his way.
Thank you for watching this documentary. And if you really like it, you'll like my other short form and long form documentaries that you can find right here. Well, anyways, you know how we like to end our videos over here at Moxy Approved, right? With that water. I'll see y'all here next time on Moxy Approved.
Please join my Discord, link in the description.